Hello everyone, this is Felix from GM Wolf. So today, well actually this weekend, I'm taking part in the GMC Jam number 18. And well, I decided to do this devlog where I'm going to be showing you what I'm doing along the course of those 3 days. So today it's the second day and I've already done some work on it. So I'm going to show you what I have now. For those of you who don't know, the GMC Jam is well, a game jam. So we make games like in 72 hours, I think it is. And there's always a theme, a handicap, and a secret word that we have to try to include inside all games. So this year, I'm not sure if it's every year or when it is. This is the first time I'm taking part actually. It's the theme is the Cold War. We have the handicap, that is to make all the audio with your mouth, so you're not allowed to do anything else. And the secret word is T something something E. Now you're allowed to you're allowed not to stick to the theme or the handicap or whatever. However, you do have more chance of winning if you do use it. So this is what I have right now. You can move around with this giant sword, and the aim of the game is to eliminate those enemy Russians and destroy all the tanks, like so. Of course, all the graphics, etc., I may change later on, depending on how far I get along the creation before the game is due. And yeah, so this is basically it so far. I have also got over here, if you move over there, these nukes that you also have to seek and destroy. Now, right now there's a bug with the collisions, and I have to go over here to do it. But yeah, so let's have a look at how I've been making this. Now, first of all, let's talk about the graphics while they're still on screen. So the ground and the trees are actually taken from, let's see, I think it's, I can't exactly remember. The name of the pack is 2D Circle Graphics, I think. From Lost Garden, I think I took them from. So I'm using those. I did edit the ground to have to have some snow instead of some grass. I just used Photoshop for that. The blood I took from cgtextures.com, I think, and the rest I have made myself. So I have made the swing animation, or the walls, and that thing, which isn't really surprising. You can see it's really out of style. And I'm thinking of changing the graphic style to something a bit more HD and realistic, and maybe use my shadows and lighting engine, if I have the time to do so. So now that we've looked at what exactly the game is, let's have a look at how I've been making it. So I've been using 3 sets of code that I've developed. Let's see, the first one is my optimized decals. And the reason I'm using that is because it does make it a lot faster to add decals, first of all, and I'm also using it for the blood, etc. That's what I'm using it for, but also for the grounds and the walls, etc. Because it does speed up the rendering quite a bit, and it's much easier than using surfaces because I don't have to worry about the size, etc. It's just really easy to use. The next thing I'm using is my smooth player movement scripts. So if I go to my player over here, oops, that's my enemy. My play over here. This is my, I've made a tutorial on these scripts, and the reason I'm using that again is because I want to have the fastest development times. And I already made a movement script. I just had to edit it a bit to work with my state machine so that I could have different states for the player, which was really quite easy. I just put an if statement over here. That was pretty much it. And so that's what I'm using for the movements. Don't have to worry about that. All the collisions are taken care of, and it works really well. I'm really quite happy about it. It's really quite easy to use. And third piece of script I'm using is well, this thing here, which I made a tutorial on recently, and maybe it will make more sense if I bring up this thing over here. And it's basically my marching squares algorithm. Well, it's not my algorithm, but it's my implementation of the algorithm. That's for the ground. The ground's actually randomly procedurally generated. That's just because I want to have, again, fast development times. And for that, I'm actually using the simplex noise sets of scripts. They're also quite easy to use. I can't remember who developed them. I probably have a link somewhere online, and if I find it, I'll probably put it in the credits or something. So that is pretty much it for that I'm using. Other than that, if we go into the room, it's a pretty standard, I'm actually designing the levels like that. I'm debating whether I should have them, again, procedurally generated or not. The problem is I don't think I'll have the time to get good looking levels, etc. So what I have is just standard walls, which you can collide with, and I'm using, for the ordering, so that, you get in front and behind of walls, I'm just using the depth is equal to minus y. So if I bring up the player, I probably have it over here. Nope, maybe over here. Yeah, here it is. Depth equals minus y, which means I can put it anywhere I like, and everything goes in top and behind properly, which is really quite nice. And then when I have objects with more complex collisions, I'm adding these blue squares here, which act as collision masks. I am thinking of implementing something to speed up collisions. I'm not having any performance issues at the moment, but maybe if I go into bigger levels or something, it will be a problem. And so I'll either use the scripts available on the marketplace developed by Nocturne, I think it is, or I'll try to make my own, depending on how much time I have. The thing is, I haven't actually bought that asset yet, and I'm reluctant to buying it because I kind of have my idea of how to implement it myself. It's actually not that complicated. The problem is I may not have the time to do so. So that's something I have to take into account. It is only 99 cents, which is, I believe, which is rather cheap. Now my enemies, I am using a finite state machine. So I think there's been a development diary, something like that, that from the GMC, from the, I can't remember who's making it. It's on I could probably find it over here. Wait, I have my browser open. I can't exactly remember who's doing that, nor the exact. Oh yeah, the tech blogs, game date diary by Nocturne. He's been using finite state machines as well, but it's a standard thing to use for AIs. And the way I'm doing that is I have inside my player here, I have my states. Now the reason I have it in my player is because I use some of those states in my player as well, and I didn't actually implement the enemies yet. So I have my enumerator inside my player, but because they're global, I can use it anywhere. And then what I do is I have different blocks of code for each state, and each of those states have another way of moving on to the next stage when needed. It's not quite finished yet. There are some problems. For example, if the enemy has spotted you and then you move out of sight, he'll still be able to shoot through the walls, etc. So I still have to clean up a bit of the code, fix it a little. But yeah, that's pretty much where I am right now. Everything else is pretty standard, the way I'm using things. I'm trying to think of what else I can say which is interesting about this, about the way I'm developing things. Apart from the fact I'm not doing anything very neatly. I'm using objects for as much as I can, which isn't necessarily bad, but sometimes it's kind of unnecessary. For example, over here, if I go to the map, I have this stand over here on which the nuke is put on, and I'm actually using a whole separate object for it when I should really be using tiles or something of the sorts. However, it does mean more development time. So I'm just going to leave it like that for now. If I ever run into performance problems or something like that, I'll probably have to change it. I'm also going to have to change the graphics of the tanks, obviously. So yeah, now I'm thinking of actually implementing my shadows and lighting engine. Now I've never actually showed that to the GMC yet, to anything on the internet, I don't think. So that would be the first time I can showcase it. It's not finished yet because I want to add different types of light, but the actual engine itself is pretty much finished. I'm actually working on a tool that will allow you to change lights, change materials, stuff like that. But the problem is I'm having trouble getting to work alongside GameMaker quite nicely because the GameMaker files are XML, and I've never actually made an XML editor yet. However, there are some tools in the marketplace which I have downloaded to do so. I haven't tried that yet. So I'm going to try to, anyhow, I'm going to try to implement shadows in here. However, that does mean I have to change my whole graphics system because I can't use shadows, and these this is like kind of 16-bit kind of graphics here, at least, and the player is more like badly drawn. I can't really call them 16-bit. It's just because I don't have great sprites kills. That took me quite some time. So I can't really use that. My materials engine is actually quite a HD thing. It's based on null mapping, etc. And it will look really weird if I use a 16-bit kind of style. So I'll have to change my whole graphics system. So I'm not sure if I'm going to use that or not. Apart from that, that's pretty much the whole game. I'm quite happy with it so far. I still have to change a lot and fix the enemies a bit, make them more interesting. And it's just a case of making bigger levels, adding audio, which I'm going to have to do myself, including music. So I'm either going to just record myself doing each track, or maybe record myself doing each sound, and then use something like FL Studio in order to make my music with the sounds I created. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it for this devlog. I'm not quite sure what the next step is from now on, if I want to work on making bigger levels, if I just to test out the game, which sounds kind of stupid because there isn't much more. I haven't got any more items to place down. So I'm thinking of adding maybe more types of enemies, other game mechanics like blocking bullets, which I already added the animation for and the key bindings for. I just haven't had it. I just don't have it blocking bullets yet. I should also add health. That will be quite useful. However, I'm thinking of adding this later on in the game because in order to test the game, I don't want to have to die every time I'm trying to go into a new area, something like that. I also have to get the bullets to actually stop at you, not completely on the top of your head, and maybe give those guys a gun because right now they don't even have arms; they just have shoulders. So yeah. So thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this devlog. And if you are taking part in the GMC Jam yourself, it'll be cool if you make devlogs as well. People are making those devlogs for. I mean, part of the prizes are for the devlogs, so that's one of the reasons I'm doing that. But it's also just because it's nice to get my ideas straight and show you guys what I'm doing. So yeah, I'll see you guys for the next devlog. Where I'll probably be, I don't know, creating sounds or something on camera. That'll be interesting. And hope you guys have fun creating games if you are, and if not, hope you guys have fun playing the games that people are putting out there. I'll see you guys next time.